With Wealth for Life, there is a little bit of personal care.
We didn't go through the investing, and I don't think we would be where we are today.
I would never go to a bank directly again.
Let's do it together.
They're giving me more confidence.
We feel totally secure now.
It was just easy.
There's a capability there that we didn't even know we had.
Stressful wise, Anthony's always there.
After the first meeting, those fears were gone.
They make us comfortable before we made the next step to invest.
Who wants to work until they're 80? Seriously.
We actually have seen the benefits.
It's like nothing's changed, but we're getting wealthier every day.
They've laid out the plan out for the next 20 years and
looks great.
And I know exactly where I'm going.
They really are the real deal.
We feel included.
I'm able to retire at a very younger age.
We're in the process of building our dream home after 18 years being stuck in the one home.
Financial independence for us and for our children.
Build something for our son, Rocco.
And set up our kids' futures as well.
Set themselves up for life.
They were amazing.
So certainly will make a big difference to you.
They changed our lives.
We feel included.
Go to Wealth for Life. Full stop.
Hey guys, Anthony Peluso here one more time. This 1st of July 2020. Half of the year already over. Let's see what the next 6 months of 2020 brings us. You know, it's interesting. I always wondered, imagine if you were in a coma for the last 6 months and you woke up today. You know, it's probably not the best, not the worst place to have been in. But anyway, we look forward, okay? 6 months are already gone, 6 months ahead. So the Australian property market and the money being given away by our Prime Minister, Scott Morrison. What does that mean to homeowners and investors? Well, for those of you that have been tuning in and watching the seminars we do, the live performances, the lectures, the webinars we do, and if you know anything about our company, Wealth for Life, you'd know that we're an investment firm and we focus more on wealth management and wealth creation. But the big topic right now, I've always said that out of adversity comes opportunity. And as an organisation, we have been absolutely drowned with inquiry for first homeowners or first home ownership. So I thought it'd be the topic of choice for this evening to have a look and discuss what that means for homeowners and clarify some of the concessions, you could call it, the grants, the bonuses that the government has put forward to first homeowners. So, you know, if you have a look at it, for a lot of Australians, they're asking, is this our last chance to actually get our own home? Right, to own our own home. You know, the great Australian dream, right? I remember it as a kid growing up. It's all I heard about. And the older you grow, you start to make sense of what all this means. And, you know, as a society, we feel like we haven't made it in this country or most parts of the world if we don't own our own home. Okay? It's what our parents told us to do. I mean, most of you guys out there right now, and I'm no different, you know, your beliefs around money, your relationship around money, the decisions you make around home ownership would have been influenced largely by what your parents did, good or bad, all right? So it's this thing we have in society that unless we own our own home, we haven't made it in this country, right? That great Australian dream. Well, we're not big on home ownership. I'm of the view that you need to invest first before you go out and buy your own home, purely based on the fact that, you know, there's a lot of hardship that can come. Not so much hardship, but so much of your income goes towards your own home, right? And some would question whether that's an asset or not. I'm not going to get into that right now, but, you know, your own home is paid by you with after-tax dollars, and you know, it takes money out of your pocket each month, okay, on rates, expenses, maintenance, mortgages. Investing done correctly puts money in your pocket every month, okay? and it produces an income, so one could classify that as an asset, but it depends on your definition of the word asset. But when you have a look at what our government has outlaid, I think as of the the 4th of June, I think it was, when they announced the big one, which was the home builder boost, right? And so many people have a different name for it. The incentives and the grants are actually quite incredible if you're looking to go down the path of owning your own home. So the government's got it on the table. Have a look at whether you should take advantage of it. Okay. Now, let me talk about these bonuses and these grants that a lot of people are confused about. Number one, you've got the 25,000 home builder boost, okay? You need to be building your own property that you're going to live in that's less than $750,000 in value. You need to have signed contracts from between the 4th of June, I think it is, and the 31st of December, and construction on the dwelling that you're going to be moving into and living in needs to have taken place 3 months after you've signed building contracts, okay? It's paid to you after settlement. It does not take the place of a deposit, okay? Not initially anyway. So you still need to be able to demonstrate an ability to service the loan and meet the bank's lending criteria, and you need to have some savings set aside in the form of a deposit or equity, okay? So you can't just rock up to a bank with no money in your pocket, no equity, no deposit, and expect to get a home loan, okay? Even though when you do the math, right, it would indicate that you can borrow pretty much most of the money, okay? So we've got the $25,000 home builder boost. You've got the $10,000 first home owner grant, okay, if you're buying within Metro Melbourne, or $20,000 if you're, out non-metro, right, regional, okay? So areas like your Ballarat, Bendigo, and I think even parts of Geelong, right? And you also don't pay stamp duty on established property under $600,000, or if you're doing house and land split contracts, again, you negate the stamp duty because you only pay stamp duty on land when it's a split contract. And of course, unless you're buying land more than $600,000, you would pay no stamp duty. Okay, and then you've got the deposit scheme, which effectively gives you access to 95% against the value of the property you're purchasing, with you only having to come up with 5%. Okay, and you don't pay lender's mortgage insurance. Okay. And then on top of that, there's the little bonus that we give our clients who are looking to buy their own home. But you're going to have to inquire within to find out about that one there. Okay, so it's a pretty attractive proposition. If you look at it and stack it up, you could be getting up to $70,000 in assistance to get into your own home. Okay, better than a kick in the teeth, they say, right? So have a look at whether that's something for you. But if you've made the decision based on finances or, just where you're going in life, and buying your own home is what you want to do or something you feel you must do, there is no better time to do that than that right now, okay? You can get in for as little as $20,000 or even less, okay? Now, when all these are gone, these bonuses and these grants are gone, and all of them do have an expiry date, by the way, okay? You'll be looking at least $60,000 just to get in. You've got to go back to saving your traditional 10% deposit or 20% deposit, assuming a purchase of $600,000, right? So it's a pretty amazing opportunity for Australians if they're looking to get their own home. Because if you look at it, the one hurdle that Australians, and most parts of the world I would say, but especially Australia, have never been able to overcome is fronting up with a deposit and covering things like stamp duty. Okay, so it's the cost of entry that actually prohibits a lot of Australians in getting their own home. Most of us can actually service the debt, service the loan along the way. Okay, from our work income, but it's as Australians, we're not very good savers, and it's a tough gig to actually think that. I was talking to a lovely client yesterday who said, Anthony, my daughter and her boyfriend want to buy their own home. And, they're 21, 22. What do they need to do? So you go through some questions, and at the end of it, it came down to they're going to have to save. And when you did the calculations, it was like you need to put aside at least $35,000-$40,000. Now, for a 20 to 21-year-old, that's a tough ask. Unless they're on a pretty good income and haven't been affected by the current, COVID-19 landscape, that's a tough gig, right, for to have someone that age to actually front up with that kind of money. So this really could be your last chance to take home ownership in Australia, okay? I don't see this happening ever again. And for all argument's sake, do we really want to see a crisis such as this to actually create an opportunity such as this? That depends on who you speak to. But if you've made the decision, and I can't talk you out of it, if you've made the decision that you want to buy your own home to live in, occupy your own home, you are never going to see it this good, okay? The concessions, the assistance that the government has given us, has given you as potential homeowners, take advantage of it. Other people are. We are getting absolutely smashed with inquiry. In fact, we're trying to take a couple of people. We've tried to turn away and talk them out of it, but they just keep coming. It's a pretty attractive proposition, okay? Especially if you're looking to downsize, if you're, if you've been, wanting to do this for such a long time, or if you're you're leaving the nest, right? The family home, and you're wanting to get in. If you're a 26-year-old, 25-year-old, and you're like wanting to make a go of it right now, this could be the most incredible opportunity you ever see. So for parents out there that want to get the kids out of home, okay, had enough of them, right, scrounging off you all the time, now could be the perfect opportunity, okay? So you're not going to know if you don't ask. So give us a call here at Wealth for Life and have a chat to us, okay? It's pretty amazing right now, okay, in terms of the hurdles that most of us now have overcome with regards to getting to home ownership, okay? Keep in mind, however, though, you still need to be able to qualify and meet the bank's lending criteria, okay? Please don't have the viewpoint that, hey, you can just walk up and get a loan. Contrary, it's quite the opposite, okay? They're two separate things. What the government is doing right now to assist you is one thing, but you still need to get through the bank's lending criteria, and that's probably harder than ever right now, okay, given the current restrictions and landscape that we're in. So don't assume, okay? Give us a call, have a chat to us, 1300 793 877. We'll go through and ask you the right questions so you can make an informed and accurate decision with regards to home ownership. Okay, so we get asked quite a bit as well over the last few weeks. Will we ever have this opportunity ever again? I think highly unlikely. Why? It's costing the government too much money, okay? Our money, by the way. Our taxpayer money. But shh, we don't say that, right? So act quickly, because property under $750,000, which is the criteria that you need to meet with regards to the home builder boost, it's that part in the market right now that's having the greatest impact. Those property prices, especially some of these land estates, are absolutely frying right now, absolutely on fire. We're seeing vendors and developers, owners putting their prices up every week. 15 grand, 18 grand, 20 grand, and they're getting it, okay? They know that this is a hot market. So anything under $750,000 right now is quite hot, okay? So I don't see this opportunity coming ever again. One, it's going to take a crisis such as this, but, it is costing the government a lot of money, okay? And, taxpayers unfortunately have to foot the bill. And this is going to have an impact on property prices in certain sectors of the market. So you've got to look at it as a homeowner. What's life going to look like for you post-2020, okay? Which is when most of these bonuses and grants will end, okay? Now, it's no secret that property prices, the gap between property prices and, household incomes is getting wider and wider and wider every year. Okay, read the data. Read the actual data. Don't read the headlines. Okay. Very, very rarely have the media got it right when it comes to property prices and what the market's going to do, okay? It's the clickbait headline. I'm not complaining about it. I've used it plenty of times myself, but study the market. It's not that difficult, okay? Study the market. Have a look at what the Australian real estate market has done over the last 60 years. Have a look at what's contributed to the property market, okay? You'll see that these cries or statements of Australian real estate prices dropping 20, 30%, it's just never going to happen. Okay, people that understand the economy, understand the real estate market and how it's connected to the economy, they know, then they understand that could never happen. Okay, so if you have a look, study the market over the last 60 years, you'll see that prices, whilst they have tapered off a little bit, certainly haven't dropped the 10, 15, 20, 30% that people are predicting moving forward, okay? I don't see that happening, okay? Not because of the market itself, but just because of our economy, how our economy is structured, our workforce, our industries. And you know what? Who's the biggest beneficiary of the Australian real estate market? You guessed it, our lovely government. Okay, it's an amazing source of income stream for them. Stamp duty, income tax, land tax, capital gains tax, right? So they do very, very well out of it. And they're like anybody else. They're going to protect their revenue stream, okay? So they have a vested interest in making sure that our real estate market, because it creates so many jobs, right, and that industry, the property industry and construction industry, continues to move along, you know, in a certain direction, okay? So it gets quite political when you start to get the market going too crazy, right? And decisions made at that point are usually for votes as opposed to the economy. But if you study the market like we do here at Wealth for Life, you'll understand that it's a pretty safe bet to get into the real estate market, okay? It's that old adage, and, you know, everybody needs a roof over their head. To some extent, that's true, especially if you're in lockdown right now, right? So I'm hoping you've got a roof over your head if you're in lockdown. So study the market. Have a look at what drives our economy, our government agenda, and the economic policies that we have in place, and you'll see just how silly it is to ever think that our market could go backwards by such an extent, okay? So, you know, that's really it, guys. You know, you guys asked for it. You wanted it. You wanted me to talk about home ownership and getting into the market as a homeowner with all these bonuses and grants. I hope that you've gotten something out of this. And I'll say it again, you know, I'm not a big fan of home ownership, not at the expense of investing, because I see too many people that all they do is buy their own home and do nothing else. And all they're left with later in life is their own home. They forget that as long as they're living in their home, it's not producing an income. The question I keep asking, where is the money going to come from? Where is the money going to come from? You need a roof over your head, so you can't pull the money out of your home that you're living in. Okay? Yeah, you could sell your home later on and downsize and reduce your standard of living and quality of life. But even that, once the money runs out, then what? You know? You need predictable income. You need predictable revenue streams, okay? You need assets that cash flow you. You need very strong appreciating assets that give you very strong cash flow. You can't work, you know, you need both, not one without the other. Okay? Cash flow never at the expense of capital appreciation and vice versa, okay? If you've got those two combinations, you've got a really good portfolio and a very good investment strategy. So, take advantage if you have to, if you need to, if you must, of the grants that the government's put forward. You know, if you're going to go for your home ownership, this is your best shot, guys. This is your best shot. I have never seen it this good, but you're going to have to move quickly, okay? Because the longer you leave it, one, the prices continue to grow. They're not going to wait for you to get ready and think about it. Thinking about it right now for a homeowner ain't going to work, okay? You know, I had a friend of mine who went to an auction, one of those online auctions on the weekend. Funny story. Well, not funny for her. She's probably watching. I maybe shouldn't actually say this, but You know, she said, Anthony, I'm jumping online for one of these online auctions on Saturday at 2 o'clock. I reckon I can pick the property up in the northern western suburbs of Melbourne for around 575. Established property, looking to buy our own home. I get a notification at 4 o'clock. It sold for $696. Okay, I think they had a reserve or a price of around that $560, $570. This is what you're up against in this current environment in that price point under $750,000. So if home ownership is for you, now's the time to go find out whether you can make this work. Okay, the government is giving you all the help they could possibly give you. You're never going to see it this good again. Okay, for parents out there, have a chat to your kids. Okay, for people that have been looking to do this, middle-aged people that have been looking to do this, most incredible opportunities right now. For those of you looking to downsize, it affects you guys as well. Okay, home ownership right now has finally become very, very attractive. Okay, this is the opportunity that's come out of the adversity of 2020. So if it's something you want to look at, there is never a better time. Okay, most of this ends by the end of the year, and by the end of the year, you're probably going to pay a hell of a lot more than what you're going to pay in June, July, 2020. All right. Now, for investors, as I've said all along, if you guys have got property as investors or you're looking to get into the investment property market, right on the coattails of what these homeowners are going to be doing, okay? You just need to take a piece of the pie because you're going to, in certain areas, you're going to have that market grow as well. And a lot of our investors just over the last 3 months, especially the last 3 months, have seen their prices do extremely well. So, guys, I hope you got a lot out of tonight's event. Thank you so much again for your questions, your feedback. Hopefully we get to all of your questions over the course of the next 7 days. But I suppose in signing off, we're, like I said, halfway through the year. It's been one year that we're going to really enjoy looking back and telling our kids about, right? I can see myself as a 60, 70-year-old man. Remember back in 2020 and what we went through? I have my grandkids there, and and some of us are actually thinking, you know what, we'll probably forget a lot about this, right? It's, for those that have lived long enough through the Great Depression in the early 1900s, they're like, guys, what the hell are you complaining about? 2020 is a walk in the park, all right, compared to, what we had going on back in 1917 and so forth. But there's two ways you can look at this, guys. You can let this defeat you. You can let the last 6 months defeat you, get you down, take up a lot of space in your head. And I get that. It's been a hell of a 2020 thus far. But the reality is, when you look at the world like that, you never win, right? Nobody ever wins, okay? You always become the effect, right? Yeah, you're just going to have to punch harder and harder and harder and harder when you look at the world like that, right? And I know it's tough, and I'm not saying that it's certainly not a walk in the park. I get that. I've seen even the toughest fall over the last 6 months. But it's up to you how you view the world, how you view what's going on out there, right? There are some of you, and most of us, that will look at it and say, this is the year from hell. From COVID to lockdown to economic, downsizing to household incomes, having to spend all this time at home with your partner, right? It really comes down to how you look at it. Or you can look at it as, you know what? I'm going to create my own reality. I'm going to create my own outcome, my own results, my own future. That's the only hope you have of actually winning, okay? You need to put aside, as hard as it is, everything that's taken place over the last 6 months. And, it's restart. 1st of July today. Get the diary out, all right? Have a look at your goals that you had set on the 31st of December last year, okay? Revisit them if you still got them, okay? We're 6 months through all of this shit, right? So have a look at, what you set out to do at the end of last year, right? And, you know what? Don't give up on that stuff. Don't give up on that stuff. I know a lot of you haven't. And, you know, I'm holding out and I'm praying and I'm hoping and I'm supporting each and every one of you guys. For those of you that know me, you know how much I love mankind and people of all races, all walks of life. You know, what we do here at Wealth for Life is help. We help people. The end. We help people. That's it. That's our business. We love helping people. Anything we can do to help you financially or otherwise, this is the company to call. Okay? If you talk to our clients, you talk to the people that have rolled in through those doors and sat down with our staff, you know, many of them right now, they're not even clients or friends anymore. They're like family. You know, we love helping the human being. We love helping and lifting that human spirit. And anything we can do it as an organization to do that, 1300-793-877, that's our number. Call us. Nothing rewards us greater than seeing you do well in life. Nothing. There's no money that you could pay us, no money we could ever make, earn, create, or accumulate that would ever substitute the feeling we get by seeing you guys do well and be a screaming success. Because we know what we do works. Without a shadow of a doubt, it works. It's been tested, it's been tried, it's been proven. Okay? We have tried to hack this, we have tried to break this, we have tried to smack this. It works. Okay? It's been through the ringer. Okay? And for those of you guys that have come on board and have had the opportunity to work with us and us work with you, you know how good this thing is, this thing called wealth creation. So my you know, I extend myself and that of my organization's Wealth for Life. I extend my hand out to you guys, and I want to thank you for getting through the last 6 months and continuing to wake up and show up every morning. And we're here to help you guys if we can, all right? So enjoy the next 6 months. Make it 2020 is not over yet. Don't give up. You can still make it an amazing year. Give us a call if anything that we've gone through this last 25, 30 minutes has been of value to you. Give us a call on 1300-793-877 or check us out at wealthforlife.com.au. Until next week, stay safe and do great.